Today we're going to start exploring circles, but before we can work with circumference or area of circles, there's a little bit of circle vocabulary that I think we need to talk about. Circles always have a center, and that's simply a dot that's in the middle of the circle. But it is important when it comes to learning about other vocabulary. When you have a line that starts at the center and goes to the edge of the circle, we call this a radius. And radius is usually used in formulas with just the letter R. Now, if I was a sixth grader, I would be sketching this in my notes and I would be adding all of this information to it, so that way you make sure you have everything you need in order to be successful. Whereas a radius goes from the center of the circle to the edge of the circle, a diameter starts at an edge, crosses through the center, and ends at the other edge of the circle. That's what we call diameter. And when we look at it in formulas, they use the letter D to represent the diameter. Now, circumference is like the perimeter of the circle. It's the distance all the way, C-E-R-F-E-R-E-N-C-E. Sorry, guys. Circumference is the perimeter of the circle. It's the distance all the way around it. And that's what we're going to be talking about today, is the circumference. But before we can do that, we need to talk about some more radius and diameter. So here we have the radius of a circle. It gives us that from the center to the one edge is 3 inches. So if we wanted to figure out the diameter, we would have to simply double that radius. Well, 3 plus 3 is 6. So the diameter of this circle would be 6 inches. And here, if you have a diameter that is 6 inches, we're going to a radius that is 6 inches, we're going to double it to find the diameter. So 6 and 6 gives us 12. Now, if you're given the diameter, that means that from edge to edge through the center is 6. So we need to know what half of that is, just from the center to the edge. Well, that's going to be 3 inches. So the radius on this circle is 3. Well, not always are you going to have nice, pretty whole numbers. Sometimes you're going to have to work with decimals. So if our diameter, edge to edge through the center, is 3, we would need half of that to find the radius. Half of 3 is 1.5. So our radius then would be 1.5. When we talk about circumference, we're going to be using 2 formulas. If you're given the diameter, you would use this formula here. Circumference equals pi times diameter. So you simply multiply pi times the diameter. And pi, for our purposes, we're going to be using 3.14 for pi. Now, if you only have the radius, then you're going to use this formula. C equals 2 pi r. That's just something that's for the PowerPoint for kids that are live. You don't need that extra pi there. Circumference is 2 times pi times the radius. That's because that radius has to be doubled to find the diameter. And we're still going to use 3.14 for pi. All right, so let's calculate some circumference. Here I've got the diameter, so that means that I want to use the diameter formula of circumference equals pi times diameter. Well, my substitution line for pi, I'm going to use 3.14, and then my diameter is 10.8. So that means I'm going to need to multiply 3.14 times 10.8. And that's going to require a little bit of doodle work off to the side. But we're completely capable of multiplying decimals. It's not the first time that we've had to multiply decimals. 3.14 times 10.8. Remember, you do not have to line up the decimals. We're going to multiply starting with the 8. We're going to pretend like the decimals aren't there. We'll worry about them at the end. 8 times 4 is 32. 8 times 1 is 8. Plus 3 is 11. Oops. Whoa, my iPad's going crazy. 8 times 3 is 24, plus 1 is 25. Now I need my 0 placeholder, and I'm going to multiply 0 times 3.14. So that's going to give me 3 zeros. When I move over to this 1, I need to place 2 0 placeholders, and then I'm multiplying that by 3.14. So therefore, that's easy math. Now I'm going to add. 2 plus 0 is 2, 1, 0, and 0 is 1, 5, 0, and 4 is 9, 2, 0, and 1 is 3, and 3 and nothing is 3. I have 1, 2, 3 digits behind the decimal, so I'm going to put 1, 2, 3 digits behind the decimal. However, for today, we are always going to be rounding to 2 decimal places. 2 is less than 5, so that means that it just drops off. So my circumference then is 33.91 inches. It's just the distance around the circle, so it is simply plain regular inches, one-dimensional inches. Let's look at one more problem, this time where we have the radius. So with the radius, we use the formula that the circumference is 2 pi times the radius. So then my circumference is going to be 2 times 3.14 times 15.4. So from here you can decide whichever it is that you want to double. You can double 3.14, you can double, or 15.4 you can double. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to multiply 2 times the pi. So that's going to give me 6.28 times 15.4. And let me go ahead and work that out. Again, it's going to require doodle work. 6.28 times 15.4. 4 times 8 is 32. 4 times 2 is 8, plus 3 is 11. 6 times 4 is 24, plus 1 is 25. I almost added them there. 1 0 placeholder. 5 times 8 is 40. 5 times 2 is 10, plus 4 is 14. Sorry, my dog's playing with her oinky pig. 5 times 2 is 10, plus 1 is 11. 5 times 6 is 30, plus 1 is 31. Then I need 2 placeholders. And I'm multiplying 1 times all of this. So I have got then 8, 2, 6. I'm a little worried that my dog distracted me. Let me double check my work here. 5 times 8, got my placeholder, is 40, 10, 14, 30. Yep, I have an extra 1. So let me erase this 31. And this 3 should be here. Sorry about that, guys. Dog distracted me. I'm going to add this together. 2 plus 0 is 2. 1 plus 0 is 1. 5 and 4 is 9, plus 8 is 17. 2 plus 2 is 4, plus 2 more is 6. And 3 plus 6 is 9. So then I have 3 digits behind the decimal place. And again, I'm going to round. However, when I round, this is less than 5, so it's going to fall off. So then my circumference is 96.71 meters. Hopefully that math is correct. We will find out when you guys work it out. If you have any questions, let me know.